Hello and welcome to this webinar, Inside Mobile, Getting Started, brought to you by Textlocal. I'm Jason Palgrave-Jones and today I'm going to be joined by my colleagues Rob Townsend and Andy Henning. As you'll see at the top of the screen, you can join the webinar by texting webinar to 66777 and text in. That will allow you to receive an auto response and also to join us for our live demonstration a little bit later on. So into today's webinar, we're going to be focusing on understanding the regulations and also best practice when it comes to sending SMS communications. Whether you're starting off from scratch or already a seasoned communication professional, this guide will take you through the next steps you need to get your campaigns up and running, and also how to adopt the best practice approach for a successful campaign. So I'm going to hand over to Rob Townsend just to talk us through a little bit about Textlocal and who we're working with.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name's Rob, I look after marketing. Just a quick little bit about us, if you're not familiar with us. We've been providing mobile messaging services for businesses for nearly a decade now. SMS is a core service offering, and our multi-award-winning platform, Messenger, is the most robust platform on the market to send you alerts, confirmations and promotions. You'll see in here short codes and keywords on the telly and radio most days. Now with mobile messaging you can do so much more by sending movies, pictures, brochures, or indeed linked to forms, surveys, mobile sites, and now vouchers and ticketing. It's free to sign up, best prices around, and we'll provide you with all this with expert support around the clock. Just a quick little bit around who we work with. We've now got over 100,000 businesses and organisations on our books of all shapes and sizes. Naturally we're showing the headline brands here, but we dominate the food and drink space as well as travel and entertainment, retail, public services and financial services. But we never lose sight of our heartland, which is the small business, and that's what our business was built on. So we do a hell of a lot with schools, colleges, universities, dentist clinics, driving schools, right the way down to florists and salons. But our platform services any business of any size.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Rob. Okay, on to guidance and the legals. As we know, with SMS marketing, it's governed by legislation the same way as email is, primarily the Data Protection Act and also the Privacy and Electronic Communications Regulations 2003. Now, this is overseen by the Information Commissioner's Office, the ICO. Now, clearly there's a risk of financial penalties, should you get it wrong, but it's about a clear incentive about adopting best practice. And also the risk of program suspension, or more importantly, poor communication experience leading to client attrition are also factors to consider. Clearly with its high delivery and response rates over email and direct mail, mobile messaging has become the medium of choice for businesses. So it's important businesses not only understand what the law says, but they also learn from the experts on the correct tone of voice, most effective time to engage with customers, and how to build an intelligent opt-in list. So I think that's an appropriate cue to speak to Rob and to ask him some questions a little bit about consent. So Rob, what is a consent with regard to marketing communications and permission-based marketing, and how should we adopt that?
Sure. Well, there's nothing particularly scary here. It's just basically permission-based marketing, just like email, just like direct mail. Now, the ICO state that organisations may not send a text message if the recipient has not agreed to it. So basically that means unless the sender has obtained your details through a sale or negotiations for a sale, the messages are about similar products or services offered by the sender, you were given an opportunity to refuse the text when your details were collected, And if you did not refuse, you were given a simple way to opt out in all the text messages you received. So, if customers are opting in by texting your keyword, so for example, text offer to 60777, you already have consent. By texting your keyword to subscribe, they give consent to receive your message. So there's three simple little things that you must do. You really must clearly identify the sender of the message, you must provide a valid reply address, and you must make it easy for recipients to unsubscribe from future communications. And we make that very easy within Messenger, and there are tools to help you within that.
Okay, thanks very much, Rob. Thanks for confirming the guidelines. So whether you're unsure or you're getting guidance on this, etc., we've got a team of a panel of experts that would be delighted to speak to you, offer you some personal guidance, and take a call from you or an email to give you a bit more focus on what to do and the best practice, etc. Okay, so we understand what our responsibilities are, and also the considerations that should be adopted when looking to engage with the target audience. But time of send, tone of voice, message content, what leads to a successful campaign, Rob?
Well, we've just completed some really exciting research focusing on customer relationships, and that's due out in May. What you can see from this particular slide is businesses prefer to send on a weekday, and that's really based on legacy email behaviour. We all usually select Thursday morning at 11 o'clock, but it's different for texting. Now, when we actually quiz the consumers, and that's over 2,000, they're far more receptive to receive texts at any time at the weekend over weekdays. So sure, the weekdays, best times are between 9 and 12, but indications suggest that between 12 noon and 3 p.m. on weekdays, on weekends rather, is a far, far better opportunity. Now, in our forthcoming report, we also screened over 330 businesses as well, and that, when combined with the consumer research piece, it means we can break this out by age, gender, region, sector, any demographic you can possibly think of. And it's when you drill into this, it gets really exciting when we look by age and sector, as you start to see pockets of different types of users in the UK behave totally differently. And because our research is regionally representative, it can truly assist with regional media planning if you're that far advanced. Now, 80% of consumers also stated that they are fine receiving communications more than once a week, but from trusted brands. So the question you're obviously asking now is, am I a trusted brand? Well, the perceptions of trusted brands in our research suggest health, so that could be clinics, doctors, dentists, utility, food and drink, so that's restaurants, bars, and within financial services, it's finance and insurance services, as well as retail and travel. So in a nutshell, it's things we like doing, we love doing, or we have to do. So that could be your doctor's appointments confirmed, your loans approved, here's a great offer from your favourite restaurant, and so forth. So the question you've got to ask yourself is, are you a trusted business? And are your customers loyal? In which case, then you know what you need to do there.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Rob. Some really interesting stats and analysis, Rob. Clearly this is just a snapshot of what's to come in the forthcoming white book to be released in May. Okay, so we've discussed a little bit about how to remain compliant, best practice when it comes to timing, tone of voice, frequency. But what about other ways to build an opt-in list, Rob?
Yeah, sure. I think if we just reflect for a minute, we've got to ask ourselves a few questions. Do you really know who your customers are? Or the pertinent question is, rather, your mobile customers. The chances are they're far more mobile than you think. Are you a trusted business? Is there more work to do here to become a trusted business? Are you using the most effective channel? So understanding this, of course, is key, but getting started is very easy. So if you look on the screen now, we've got a slide that's about building a mobile engagement model. Now that can seem a little bit daunting and complex, but really all we're highlighting here is touch points. So you need to build in to all of your communications and all your touch points mobile. So that could be just adding mobile to web forms. That could be getting your call center staff to capture the mobile number. But getting started is very, very straightforward. You'll see at the top we've got API or XLS. So if you've got a spreadsheet with your numbers on, you can drop it straight in. If you're a larger organization, we can connect to any CRM application or system, and you're up and running quite literally in minutes. And it's really that simple. So moreover, it's more about permission-based marketing, and it's not scary stuff at all. Just focus on greater mobile data capture and interaction, and just get using it.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Rob. Some really useful insight into that. So simply, it could be as simple as plug-in and play for some of our customers with smaller audiences.
That's right, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, thanks very much for that. Right. What we're going to do is, just prior to going on to have a look at Messenger and having a demonstration, a quick prelude to that is we're just going to have a look at some of the touch points that Messenger can actually offer in the way of an engagement tool. Now, prior to doing that, I just really wanted to remind you, right at the top here, we've got our keyword webinar to 66777. We'd like you to text in, so create a new text message, type in 66777 on the to field, within the body of the text use the word webinar. What that will allow you to do is it will send receive an auto response back from us within 4 seconds. That's how quite quick our system is. But also it will allow you to play an active part in our demonstration when we send a message out to you. So that's webinar to 66777. Okay, just prior to going on to the demonstration of Messenger, I just really want to draw your attention to some of the key functions of Messenger. Not only does it send text messages within 4 seconds and gets delivery reports, etc., but you've got some additional functionality in there. The mobile web pages, there's a free editor in there to create mobile web pages for you. They've got Social Connect, so you can push all your communications out to your social media platforms. As Rob mentioned before, we've got ticketing and vouchers, which is a relatively new stream for Messenger, but again, great for small businesses who want to engage with customers as a single purchase or as a loyalty mechanism moving forward. And then you've got your SMS, MMS activity on there, which is two-way, but we'll come on to that in a few moments when Andy gives us a demonstration. Okay, I'm getting questions coming in already on the webinar to 66777, so if we'd like to hand over to Andy, we can cover the messages and the questions in a few moments. Okay, so just going to hand over to Andy, and he's going to take us through a quick demonstration of the system.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Andy. As Jason said, what I do is I look after the support process for Textlocal. And keeping the theme running today, what I'm going to first do is show you how you can effectively build up a database through opted-in data. First thing that we will need to do is we need to hover over Receive and we click View Inboxes. Each account sign-up with Textlocal will automatically get a free keyword on our shortcode, as you can see there on mine. It is possible to get a word that's referable to your business. As an example, you might have college if you were a college or a student union. You might potentially have the name, if you're in the health sector, you might have Harley's Dentist or something of that ilk, really. The keyword is a 3-in-1 solution. What I actually mean by that, you get the keyword, as we've already mentioned, automatically get a QR code. These are quite prominent today. It allows the user to scan that unique code and take you through to a page of choice. Now that page can be a generic website or a page that's built specifically to whatever it is that you are advertising. Finally, you do get a personalized opt-out path. So we've discussed about getting a user to opt in. If they did want to opt out, what they can actually do is text that keyword, i.e. college, to our shortcode. They're automatically opted out of the service. Within the inbox, there is a number of settings. What we do to get those is click Settings, takes us through to this screen here. What we can do now is automate a number of processes We appreciate you're busy people. This is an online platform, so you might be dealing with other queries. What we can actually do on the left-hand side here at the top is we could set up an auto response to each incoming message. Now, if your message was advertising a discount code, for argument's sake, so somebody was texting in, what we could do is fire them out a quick text message back saying, thank you for your message, please quote X at the till to get your discount. What you can also do is insert a page link and a short link within this text. A short link is really just a quick link to a website. A page link is a page that you would pre-create that is specific to that outbound text message. We also have an email to SMS gateway, which you'll find at the bottom. What this enables really is the user to text in the keyword followed by their email address. Our system is clever enough to fire out an email from the registered email domain to that person's email with a specific email and then a PDF document attached. So using the school college example, what you could do is the student could text in the keyword followed by their email address, and for instance they could get their timetable fired out back to them as an email document. Anybody texting into the service, the platform really is designed to collate numbers, and to save yourself a lot of time, what you could do is add sender to a group list. So you can automatically create a group. I would advise there making it referable to the keyword, so if it was college, having the group name college, anybody that texts in will just get their number added straight to that group. We've discussed, obviously you're busy people, you're not going to be twiddling your thumbs sat around waiting for messages to come into your platform all day. So what we can actually say is, well, any messages that do come into the platform can be auto-forwarded to an email address of choice, and it can go up to 20 emails. Just keeps you on top and lets you know when people are texting in. That pretty much explains the settings within that inbox. What I'm actually going to do now is just give you a watered down version of how to create a contact and send a message, really. We use the bar at the top of the screen to navigate around the platform. We hover over contacts and click create group. We give the group a name. I'm just going to call it test for the time being, if I can spell it. And it takes us through to the next screen. What we're now looking to do is click the add, paste and upload button. We now have three options to get the data in. I think Rob referred to this earlier. Common practice would be to create an Excel spreadsheet. You save that as a CSV document and upload that into the platform. That's in there in a matter of seconds. You could copy and paste a list in, or if you really wanted to, you could add that in singly. What we're going to do now, once we've created that contract group, we're naturally going to want to send a text message. So we use the bar again at the top, down onto send text message. We've now got a list of all groups on the left-hand side. It's worth mentioning you can have as many groups as you want. By selecting this specific group, what that does is it auto-selects everybody within that group. Underneath old expression, two birds and one stone, we can actually replicate this message onto social media sites, so your LinkedIn, your Facebook, your Twitter. It's just covering off all bases there. People that you've not got opted in can actually see the message, so all of your customers are aware. On the right hand side of the screen, you've now got your message options. So what we're going to look to do here is send from a name using our name of Textlocal. This can be anything that you wish, and we get that obviously through our good relationships with the Tier 1 networks. We then need to come into the text box and obviously craft our text message in true Blue Peter style. Here's one we created earlier. Now we're ready to actually send the text message. Before that, we do actually get a character count. It's 160 characters per text message. We can schedule a message. So if we were in a meeting this afternoon, we could set this up now, and the message will go automatically this afternoon. Earlier we've discussed the opt-out in within the keyword. Here it's literally just as simple as ticking that box, and that will then be added to the text message, enabling the recipient to opt out of your service should you wish. Once we've completely happy with what we've done, we literally just need to send the message. So we go to send. We'll get a confirmation screen now. It's always worth just having a quick scan read to check everything's okay. We now obviously click send message. Once the message is gone, you'll notice that your phones all should be bleeping now. We send messages within 3 seconds. I'm just going to show you a quick report. Again, a very watered down version. We hover over reports, all reports, and keeping the theme going with the opt-outs, I'll just show you how to check that. You literally just click opt-out here. What we can now do is check to see if anybody's opt-out. Unfortunately, well, I suppose I say unfortunately, a good thing nobody has opted out, but you would see people there and obviously be able to keep a track of that at any time. That pretty much concludes my side of the demonstration. As I said at the beginning, I do look after the support process, so if anybody has any questions or would like me to run through things in more detail, then please make contact. Our office line is 0845 009 3180, and I'll pass you back to Jason.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Andy. So much to cover in so little time. Clearly, you probably had a very brief overview of Messenger there. Clearly, what we'd like to do is give you more of a deeper dive into Messenger and some of the functionality, probably on a one-to-one. So there's an opportunity for you to engage with Andy and his team, and to probably have an individual webinar or a demonstration by GoToMeeting. As Rob mentioned earlier on, our heartland is very much the small business, and we realise that small businesses don't have a huge amount of resource. It's all hands on deck. So we produced a number of guides, videos, tutorials, case studies, and really put those together as a library of an offering that on our website that you can download any of these at any time. Now, if you've texted in on webinar to 66777, you'll also have a link on that text message back from us that you can actually access any of these guides. So please do go and digest that information. There's some very, very intelligent information in there, and we'd be very keen for you to discuss any of your requirements with us post reading those. In addition to what you've seen today, the whole of Messenger can be white labelled, and we have a number of our partners working with us who are reselling Messenger under a white label proposition. And it works incredibly well in agency space. So again, if you've got any requirements and you want some additional revenue to be driven through the business, Messenger can be adopted via a white label. Now, as we've been speaking, we've had a whole host of questions coming in through the webinar. I'd like to just turn to some of the panel and ask those questions, if I may. Rob, if I could just start with you. The first question that we've had coming in is, I handle appointments. I'm a dentist surgery, and all appointments are stored on my computer. Is there a way that they can be sent automatically? And I guess probably the answer to this is maybe something like an API?
Yes, it is. Yeah, quite a common question actually, and a good one. Sure. Well, using our API gateway, and API stands for Application Programming Interface, which is basically sort of techno-babble to the layperson. It's a simple bit of code that acts as a connector, and that can link any system, CRM systems, internal systems, and then you can send the messages out accordingly. In fact, we have a number of dentists, doctors, hairdressers and like who have significantly reduced their missed appointments by using text reminders. And let's face it, we probably all get that through on our phones when we're off to forget our dentist appointment. But yeah, good question.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks very much. Andy, if I could just turn to you for a moment. We've had a question in about collecting numbers, and I think there's a retail outlet. I've been collecting numbers at the till of my shop for some time, and now have quite a few. Can I send text messages to these people?
Again, good question. Very in theme with what we're discussing today. Absolutely, as they're your customer and they've consented or they'll give you their number up front, they automatically opt themselves in to your future service updates, promotions, and any other messages that relate to your business and products. All that I'd advise there really is that if you are texting them, you're assuming that they're opted into your service, just make sure you include an opt-out path, and then they can opt out should they not wish to receive any of your future text messages.
Excellent. Thanks, Andy. I'm really conscious of time because we're probably overrunning it slightly, but we've had some other questions in which I think probably are quite relevant for the subject matter. Rob, if I can just turn to you. I've got numbers stored on my mobile phone. I think we've got a small SME here who's probably not got a CRM system. How do I get them into Messenger?
Yep, good question again. And of course we have the answer. This was a common sort of barrier. We've recently launched our new mobile app, which you can download from all the usual places. But as soon as you've downloaded that, you can instantly transfer your contacts from your mobile handset into a group in Messenger. That syncs automatically on the desktop platform, and it's very, very fast. Really handy as well if you ever lose your phone as well. Which I've done a couple of times.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks very much, Rob. Okay, down to the final two questions, if I may. One for you, Andy, I think, is how do I remove the opt-out contacts from my database? So if somebody actually texts in to choose to opt out, what do they actually have to do using Messenger?
The simple answer there really is that they don't have to do anything. As part of our service or support process, there's a number of features and functionality that we provide you, one of which is that we completely take care of your opt-outs. If the customer opts out, you are safe in the knowledge that they've been removed from your database and that they won't be texted again until they opt back in at another time, really. Okay, right, wonderful. Final question then, really up against the ropes on time. Rob, just over to you finally. Based on the catalogue and the library of data that we've already got up on the screen, we've had a question in saying, when will the white book be released and how can I get a copy?
Sure, yeah, white book's due for release mid to end of May. It's in production right now. We've got a few nuggets of information from that research already, which we made available on another webinar. All of that's available online, and everyone who's attended today will get an exclusive copy free of charge.
Excellent, that's super. Okay, we're just drawing to a close then, because again, as I mentioned before, I think we're short on time. Thanks very much, first of all, to the panel, Rob Townsend and Andy Hemming. I think some really good questions in there and some really good information, etc. Just really wanted to say that this is a series of webinars that we're running. You might not have caught the others, but they are available for you to view after the session. We will be making this available as well online, so please, if you wish to view it again, it will be recorded and available. Hopefully you found the demonstration of Messenger useful. It's a very, very intuitive system, and whether you are a small business, a single, maybe a man in a van, or small shop, etc., or a large organisation, there's an application for everybody to use it. Well, that just leaves me really to say thanks very much for attending today, and hopefully we'll be seeing you again in future webinars that we'll bring to the table in the near future. If you'd like to go on and register for a free account, please do so at www.textlocal.com. You'll get some free credits on there. We'd be delighted to talk you through the process. You've got free account management in there, free technical support, and also there's a wizard tool that will actually help you be guided through the first 4 elements of it. So again, a really intuitive system, and we'd love to see some accounts being set up and talk you through those. So thanks very much for joining us today. Thanks to the panel, and we look forward to speaking to you again in the future. Bye-bye.